Well, as long as you're talking about people who go through a ritual of deprivation, despite knowing that they have their parents always to lie back on,
Oh,
to
Christ.
basically to
Oh, my God.
basically
God.
so
Got
that they
me
can
feeling some kind of way.
they basically so that they can shit on other people and deny helping anyone ever in their life. Let's talk about Chapo All-Star Megan McGriddle.
Oh,
Okay, she's back. I mean, like Megan was gonna. She snapped on this one. I'm just gonna read now here from McGriddle. As someone who paid off $100K of student debt on a journalist salary,
Never journalist, never did journalism one time.
I have a different reason for opposing forgiveness for others in similar situation. It just wasn't bad enough to justify government intervention. To be clear, it was not fun. I was very extremely broke. I knew the price of ramen in every supermarket within 10 blocks of my house.
Widely varies. We know that from place to place.
I lived for
usually doesn't have the fucking price on the back.
I lived for double coupon day. Some months I walked miles to work, rain or shine, because she's literally saying I walked 10 miles to work at the New Republic in the snow because I couldn't afford a fucking bus pass. Mass transit just wasn't in the budget for that month. My clothes got pretty shabby. I mean, I've seen Megan recently.
Looks like
she what's the glow up here? Is she still wearing that shit?
She looks like she was. We saw her.
We saw her in New
Iowa.
Hampshire. Yeah, no, it was in Hampshire.
Was it?
It was in New Hampshire.
Iowa.
It was at New Hampshire.
Okay,
it was at the Bon Iver concert.
Yes, she looked like dog shit. She had like this sweater on and jeans. It was all ratty looking.
I mean, maybe she's like so traumatized by her like 1 year of living in poverty that she's like still pinching pennies on clothing.
Well, again,
she was not stunting though.
If
she was
this
not
is
stunting.
true, this is just another ritualized performance because you didn't have to do any of that.
I just love the thing, like, as someone who paid off 100K of my student debt, like, Matt, you're right. They were just like, just imagine her seersucker suit, piece of straw in her mouth, snapping suspenders. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I may be the simple scion of a corrupt New York City construction magnate with their hands deep in the pockets of the Koch, Dinkins, and Giuliani administrations. But I know one thing. Paying off your student loans is what made America great.
And she even admits in that thread that her parents paid for her undergrad.
Yeah, no, someone says, this is Michael Sweeney says, still trying to find a single person with this take who did not either, one, receive a PPP loan that was forgiven, or two, have parents pay their tuition. Megan chimes in and replies to say, my parents paid my college tuition, but I ate the 100K bill for business school.
Yeah, I'm sure. For business, first of all, great use of that business degree, being a fucking human barnacle.
If you go to business school and you end up being an article purveyor, you should go to something worse than debtor's prison. How about wasting everyone's time prison?
But like, what kind of fake bullshit, like handshake deal did she have with her dad? Where it's never, oh, I'm gonna have to pay this off. It's never a question. You're never going to have to worry. It's always guaranteed. And then, yes, she lived with her parents after graduation. So she's just living rent-free there. And then gets a job from her dad.
I mean, this is speculation here, but she's like, yeah, like, I deal with my parents. They paid for all of my college education at a private university, but I ate the 100K to go to University of Chicago Business School. It's very easy for me to imagine her dad saying, look, Megan, we'd pay for business school, and it's going to come back to you eventually. But right now, the IRS and the state attorney general is looking a little too closely at my returns and bank accounts here. So let's just pretend now that you have to take on a student loan to go to business school.
Yeah, I just had a fight with Carl Palladino. This is unrelated to the matter at hand, but like Megan McArdle always looked to me like she had twice as much spit in her mouth as a normal person. You know what I mean? Just like. Her teeth are always just seem like they're coated. Like an alien. They're
xenomorph.
Yeah.
So there's this special tax loophole that is only really useful if you make a ton of money, shockingly, that allows you to store an insane amount of tax-free cash for the education of your children. Mitt Romney has like hundreds of millions of dollars in that for his kids.
Well, he's got a lot of kids.
He does.
Yeah.
And anybody who's rich enough to be able to access that kind of account, if their kids are taking out student loans, that's essentially money laundering.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
It is not anybody shouldering the accountability of adulthood and going out there and trying to make it. There's no risk involved here.